East Berlin in early summer 1968. Alexanderplatz is a huge building site. Socialism is getting a makeover, and the GDR capital is set to become the Republic's modern showcase. It is also the year Toni Krahl turns 18 and is raring for action. But instead of Lenin and Rosa Luxemburg, he idolizes the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. You're young, easily outraged, and hope that you can change the world. It wasn't just 18-year-olds in our little universe in the East who wanted to change things. It was young people all over the world. The hippie movement, the whole peace and love mentality, had spilled over from the West, and it wasn't just about the way you looked. People were changing the way they thought, too.
Diese Hippie-Bewegung, die Love and Peace Mentalität, die sich nicht nur in Äußerlichkeiten widerspiegelte, sondern eben Tatsache auch in den Köpfen stattgefunden hat, und so auch bei uns.
In June, Toni Krahl travels to Prague and is impressed by the new, open-minded way of life. Socialism with a human face. 2 months later, on the 21st of August, 500,000 soldiers from the Warsaw Pact countries invaded the CSSR, crushing the Prague Spring. As reported on radio and television, the loyal followers of socialism in the party and the state of the CSSR took up arms on the 20th of August to defend the socialist state order from counter-revolutionary activities. They were trying to convince us, the people in the GDR, that the Czechoslovakian population was being liberated. To me, it was just an invasion. West Berlin school pupils get the day off to protest against the invasion. East Berlin officially welcomes the intervention. Opposition is not tolerated. But Toni Krahl wants to express his outrage publicly. With friends, he organizes a silent demonstration on Unter den Linden. On the 25th of August, some 50 young people gather in front of the Soviet embassy. The police move in and chase down the protesters. Toni Krahl manages to escape, but a friend mentions his name during a Stasi interrogation. He is summoned 3 weeks later. It started as an interview and became a grueling interrogation. In the middle of the night, they finally presented me with an arrest warrant. Then they put me in a van and took me to a remand prison. And from then on, the Stasi apparatus went into automatic mode.
Einen kleinen Transporter ins Untersuchungsgefängnis gebracht und dann ging die ganze Maschinerie los.
1,200 people are convicted for protesting. Toni is the only young person to receive the maximum sentence, 3 years in prison for agitation against the state. East Berlin in autumn 1968, not a trace of rebellion. The Prague Spring failed to make waves here. Toni's prison term is converted to a suspended sentence. In the 70s, he will sing in the rock band City, but first he must serve his time in the GDR's industrial sector.
Ich habe dann eben versucht, die Bewährungszeit zu
I tried to get through my probation without running into trouble, and looked for a little niche where I could live my life and keep developing. And I managed that to a certain extent through music and stuff like that. But I'd been more or less forced to give up any hope of changing anything through protest.
Illusion von der Straße aus etwas zu verändern, habe ich mich dann mehr oder weniger zwangsläufig verabschiedet.